Homertown Hockey presented by Slapstick Clothing. My name's Phil Bittner. I'm joined as usual by co-host Colton Gogger.
You did this. You did the same thing last week.
I know. I can't tell your fucking names apart. Apparently, Trent's not here this week. Colton's
no,
here.
he's not. I am.
Yeah. So we don't have a little bit to start out. So
no, it is going to be a short one.
Yeah,
it's going to be a short podcast.
Yeah, not a whole lot went on this week.
No, and I think Phil and I have discussed the one topic that we probably could have spent a while talking about over the phone this week.
Yeah, I mean, we could still get back into it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there was a lot of confusion on what either of us was saying, so maybe it's best that we talked it out on the phone.
Yeah. But before we do get really into anything, thoughts and prayers go out to Russian hockey fans and all of those guys with the passing of Tamir Fyatsinov after taking a puck off the face last week.
I appreciate you making sure that you had the pronunciation of his name right, because I was worried to even try.
Listened to it at least 15 times today. Yeah, so made sure to pronounce it right. So thoughts and prayers go to his whole team and any of the Russian hockey players that might be feeling the effects of losing that kid.
Yeah, man, that's fucking crazy. Just such a routine-looking play.
I feel like it's a play we've seen before, too. Guys getting hit in that area.
We've seen guys get hit so much worse in the head, at least, in appearance.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it sounded like they couldn't even transport him to a better hospital because it was so bad, because he wouldn't have even survived the trip. So, that's awful. And, yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just it's one of those things too where you almost wonder if maybe that video wouldn't have gone around so long if they would have known he was gonna die right away.
It's still everywhere.
Yeah,
you can find it super easily.
You know what I mean? It's just kind of weird now. Like, first watch it, it's like, yeah, it sucks, but I kind of figured he was gonna be all right.
I kind of thought so too.
And then, because of, I think a lot of people thought he'd be okay, and so we've all just seen the video a million times, and, obviously that takes on a different context when that was a deadly blow to the head.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, like you said, all thoughts to all the people affected by that.
You've seen some of the NHLers, specifically the Russian NHLers, wearing the number plate on their helmets, which is a cool little homage for a kid who sounded like he might have had a shot one day to make it here.
Yeah.
19. But yeah, it sucks. So let's get back into the toy department, shall we?
The what?
The toy department. It's a saying up here to get back to what the subject at hand.
That's stupid. I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I'm fine with it. I don't know.
All right. Well, do we want to start off with the equivalent to a dumpster fire of the NHL's version of a dumpster fire again?
Yeah, let's do it. You can tell the story.
Oh, I was just going to say they fired their head coach. They fired Ralph Kroger and brought in Dan Granato.
Okay, I thought you meant the whole...
the Jack Edwards thing.
No.
That's just funny.
Jack Edwards?
Did you not hear what he said on the broadcast for the Bruins and the Sabres?
No.
He goes, welcome to, whatever, Saturday Night Hockey. We have Bruins and the NHL's equivalent to a dumpster fire, the Buffalo Sabres. In the intro to the game.
God, I don't even care, dude. I love Jack Edwards.
The night after the Sabres fired Ralph Kroger and brought in Dan Granato.
What are your thoughts on Jack Edwards? I like him. I don't really like listening to him, but I like that he does what he does. I like that he's out there doing it.
He's interesting. definitely has a style. He's very Boston. It fits in.
He is
Um,
like, it's like they gave like a Boston talk radio guy. Like it's like if the Penguins had Mark Madden doing play-by-play.
actually, though, it that is exactly what it is like. That's perfect. Yeah, it's just I think he's one of those guys that's like he's good for the market he's in. What his knowledge of the game, I'll dispute that with some people, but
He's a bit of a clown for sure.
he's
But
a bit of a clown. But I don't have any.
but again, that's very Boston.
Yeah, he's not who I would sit like. I'm not gonna watch. Let's put it this way: if it's a normal year and the Wild are playing the Bruins, and I'm streaming the game, and I can switch back and forth between like the Bruins broadcast and my broadcast, because sometimes I will do that just to hear what other teams are saying. I'm never switching over to the Bruins broadcast.
Yeah.
That's just me
Yeah.
personally.
Well, there's other. The NESN broadcast is also just kind of off.
Doesn't it feel like it's from 1996 still?
Yeah.
With like the graphics and the way they do everything.
Yeah, like the whole presentation of the game from that network is a little bit screwy, and
You know what it feels like? It feels like it's a Division III hockey team streaming their games online.
they
And
have
it's
like
like-
the 1996 technology is just what they can afford.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate. Yeah, I don't know.
Like whatever. But like we're talking about, Sabres finally fire Ralph Kroger, elevate Dan Granato to head coach. The fact that 2 NHL coaches lasted longer than Ralph this season is almost comical.
Yeah.
And did you hear what Rasmus said last night when they talked about
Which one?
having the Ristolainen?
No, what'd he say?
They asked him about the coaching change, and he basically said, I've seen a lot of coaches and GMs come through here, and at some point it's maybe not their fault, and you have to look at the players, but you can't fire players.
Yeah? Yeah, I mean, they are a bad hockey team.
It's funny because this is like the 3rd or 4th time Ristolainen has said something like controversial or like shitting on the Sabres this year.
It's gotta
And
be
it's
tough, though, being a Sabre, like, having to talk to the media like that. Like, how can you say anything remotely honest without shitting on the team?
Especially like this year when it feels like every time we record a podcast, we're talking about the Sabres in an extremely negative light.
Yeah. Man. How long do you think we wait before we start calling Dahlin a bust? 'Cause he looks actively not good out there.
I think this year's the year you can call Dahlin a bust. Because remember how we were going back to our Eastern Division preview, we had basically said, like, you had brought that up in our Eastern Division preview and basically said, like, if he doesn't have a good year this year, you can call him a bust.
Yeah. And I mean, like, he's a defenseman. There's plenty of defensemen that don't even make the NHL by his age. So, I mean, but I mean, he's also, it's not like he's there to learn a shutdown game or something.
No.
You get him to produce points. That's why he's the number 1 overall pick, and he isn't. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's hard to say if maybe he'd be doing better with a different team. But
right. And the worst part is for the Sabres when it comes to things like Dahlin, because I was talking to somebody about Sanheim this year and how the Flyers could have picked Tuck and Pasternak before they took Sanheim.
Yeah.
But when you have the number 1 overall pick like that, you can't even be like, there's no wiggling your way out of, like, you had the number 1 pick, you took your guy.
Yeah.
So.
And most of the top of that draft is already doing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I forget who was number. I don't know. I know that was the same draft as soon as I started saying it, I'm blanking.
I couldn't tell you. I'm
Brady
not a draft
Kachuk,
guy.
Philip Zadina isn't really doing anything yet.
No.
God damn it! Why'd I get into it? I don't ever remember who got drafted what year.
No. We're not a draft expert podcast.
No, that's why we have to have Prosser on draft day.
Right. We do.
Hold on a sec. Here it is. Darlene, and then Mr. Svechnikov. Yes, Barry Kotkaniemi. Braden.
Svechnikov.
Brady Kachuk, Barrett Hayton, Philip Zadina, Quinn Hughes, Adam Boquist. Yeah, and after that, there's a lot of guys that haven't quite broken in yet. Noah Dobson is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Keandre Miller way deeper in the draft. Joel Farabee. I didn't realize he was... Rasmus Sandin.
Yeah. The Farabee one, potentially interesting if he continues to play well for the Flyers.
Yeah.
But
he's like one of the only good players on that team right now.
But again, that's it. It's a bit deeper down the line than I think you're willing to say or look at.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Darlene just does not look good.
No.
And now is his third season now.
The Athletic put out an article talking to NHL executives. I forget who the writer was, but essentially he threw out trade scenarios towards GMs or former GMs, and basically it was like Eichel for this person, or Eichel to this team, what would it take? And then those GMs basically were like one of them for the Wild was, they were like, okay, well, Eichel to the Wild, he basically was like Dumba, Fiala, and 2 first would be like the floor. And he was basically, and he was saying is like the Wild would never do that, but that's like the floor for what Buffalo would have to ask in return. And you're just starting to see that just pick up more and more, and it's just the sad fact is with the Buffalo Sabres, and we say it every week, is we all kind of want them to be good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funner when they are. What do you think about the trade that we heard, the asking price if the Rangers wanted Jack Eichel being Alexis Lafreniere and Capo Caco? Honestly, if I'm the Rangers, I make that deal.
First of all, that's a new one to me, and second of all, I make that deal.
Rangers fans seem to have this hard-on for young talent. And I get it. Obviously, young talent's a good thing, but I think part of what you're seeing out there, obviously Zibanejad came alive a little bit this week with the 6-point second period, just absolutely obliterating the Flyers. A natural hat trick where he scored shorthanded, even strength, and on the power play.
Unreal.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't 5 goals in 5 ways, but whatever. Fun fact, Rasmus Dahlin has the same birthday as my nephew Max. And it bummed me out when I went to look him up because my Google Chrome thing was on an article titled Remembering Jack the Chimpanzee.
Oh, rest in peace, buddy. What multiple things we just wrapped up into that. No, I think the reason Rangers fans have like that fixation on their young talent this year is because that's their whole roster right now. Is all young talent.
Well, and it's been underperforming, and it's so, I don't know, maybe you get a center like Jack Eichel.
Right, but at what point do you understand that, like, yes, we're a super young roster, give it a year to build, but I also understand the argument with Capo is like, well, you may, at this point, you know what you have in Capo Caco.
Yeah.
Or Capo, sorry. Lafreniere, that's a different story. You're talking about a super underperforming number 1 pick as of right now. That's really quick to turn around and give up on a number 1 pick. Really quick.
Yeah.
To turn around and give up on a number 1 pick.
It's not so much giving up on him as, I mean, Jack Eichel is the only sure commodity. Because I think it's too early to give up on Caco too. I mean,
I think trading a number one overall pick the year you drafted him. This is maybe a football mindset or a baseball mindset. Well, not necessarily a baseball mindset, but a football mindset in me, basically saying if you're trading the number one overall pick halfway through your season, you are giving up on your number one overall pick.
Yeah.
Or realizing like, nope, this is not the kid we thought we were getting, and because again, it's such a weird season. I don't think you can say 25 to 30 games is enough to say we know what we have here.
Yeah.
Especially with that Rangers lineup. So I think if for some reason they pull off that trade, I don't think there's any way other than you can look at it other than they saw something they didn't like and didn't want him in the building.
Yeah. Well, I think one plus with it, though, is trading someone to Buffalo. They're not going to bite you in the ass. They will probably continue to underperform, and it'll look like you were an expert.
Exactly.
So
kind of a win-win there.
Probably
kind of a genius move.
Yeah, you'd probably be tanking their careers in exchange for Jack Eichel. I think if you could get that trade without giving up picks along with it, because you're giving them the last 2 years number 1 and number 2 overall picks. And really, I don't know, I think a big part of the Hughes going over Kakko was just that Hughes is a center.
Right.
So, like, there was a strong argument to be made. Like, I kind of looked going into that draft between New Jersey and New York with the 1 and 2 picks, and a lot of people being torn between Hughes and Kakko.
That was the big question going into that draft.
See, I envied the Rangers more than I envied the Devils situation because the Rangers aren't having to make the decision. They just take whichever player is left. The Devils had to actually pick and worry about if it backfires. Like, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. Buffalo, they suck.
Buffalo, they suck.
There's just, like we've said before, man, there's just no sign, like no light at the end of the tunnel either.
Well, they also just traded a goaltender to Colorado for no fucking reason.
Yeah?
Too.
Forgot about that. That's...
So, which is not even worth mentioning, but with the fact that they have goalies hurt, they're trading goalies, which, okay. Interesting move. Washington Capitals forward Alexander Ovechkin passes Phil Esposito to stand alone at 6 all-time on the all-time goal list at 718. He now will be chasing down Marcel Dion. I probably butchered that last name.
Marcel Dion. I don't know.
Dion. 731 is the benchmark he's chasing. My like eternal lock of all time is Ovechkin's never catching Gretzky for goals.
Yeah, I'm
starting to.
I don't think he's gonna do it, man.
It's gonna be close. It's gonna be. Do you think he gets over 800? Right? He passes Howe.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's 72 more goals.
Yeah, because currently he's sitting at 717.
Okay,
or
yeah,
719.
83 more goals.
Yeah.
81 more goals.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes. Yeah, he gets over 800, but I mean, so that
894. 894 is a lofty number.
Yeah, you said he has 719. That's 175 more goals.
I know.
That's like a fifth of what he's already scored.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah. And I don't necessarily think it's happening anytime soon, but he will, decline a little.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't think he has enough time left. I think without lockouts, the lockout shortened season, the fact that the year he was drafted, there was no season.
He's 35 years old.
Yeah, so he had a whole season canceled because of a lockout, a season shortened because of a lockout, 2 seasons shortened due to COVID. Granted, one of them was only by I think probably 15 games for him.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't think he has enough time left to do it. He was exactly 14 games short of 82 last year.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I think it finished. When I say my lock of all time, I more mean in the fact that I thought he wasn't even gonna get close, but it's a lot closer than I thought it. It's gonna end up being way closer than I ever thought it would be.
Yeah. He has never missed more than 10 games in a season.
Which is crazy.
In 2010, he only played 72.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the lockout year, all 40. It's insane how many, how just year after year he's in almost every game. The Russian machine doesn't break, as they love to say and make blogs titled after.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's see here. Again, there's not much to talk about this week. There's nitty gritty stuff. We're not going to make this a waiver wire based podcast.
Yeah. On the waiver wire this year, I think teams are you see names that you wouldn't usually see on the waiver wire because teams just know no one can afford to pick these guys up.
Yeah, exactly. Paul Byron was placed on there this week. Jimmy Vesey was on there, but ended up getting picked up. Or VC, sorry. Forgot he changed his name from college to fucking NHL.
Oh, did he used to go by...
In college, I swear to God, it was Vesey. And then he got to the NHL, it's no, it's VC.
It might just be, I don't know, I feel like a lot of hockey players, it's just they have to get to a point where anyone cares enough to ask them how it's pronounced.
Right. Right.
And... Like that was the Connor Sherry was Connor Sheary for 2 Stanley Cup runs, and then finally I think it was he scored a game winner in overtime or something.
Yeah, and then
he just said by the way, it's Sherry.
That's before Kaprizov came over or Kaprizov came over.
Yep.
For 4 years it was Kaprizov, and he's actually Kaprizov. Okay. Speaking of the Wild, though, defenseman Carter Soucy was suspended for 1 game without pay for hitting Connor Garland on Thursday of last week.
Yep.
When this hit happened. We talked about it a little bit, but basically there was a whole bunch of weird things where they changed the penalty originally on the hit twice from a 2 to a 4, and then they gave him a 5. Then there was an incident where he got jumped afterwards, and he got an additional 5 where he really only threw a kind of, hey, get off me punch. The hit is suspendable.
Yeah.
It's bad. Bigger dude goes in, leaves his feet unnecessarily. Totally agree with the suspension. My bigger thing is the officiating.
I don't understand how they had to think so much about what to give on that penalty. He left his feet and led with his elbow and hit him right in the fucking head.
Yeah, so
he never should have been still in the game to be jumped. Not often you see a guy get a 5-minute major and stay in the game. And,
right.
It's just hard to imagine any thought process behind it, especially given that then he got jumped and was given
Connor
a penalty.
And not only that, I forget Connor's on the bench bleeding.
Yeah,
because he got hit in the nose. So, yeah, man. Again, I'm not gonna sit up here and say that it's not a suspendable hit. It fucking is. I mean, that is the hit the NHL is trying to delete from the game right now.
So they say.
But if you listen to Toronto Maple Leafs fans, it happens every night to Austin Matthews.
Yeah.
And nobody calls.
Austin Matthews is always getting elbowed and bleeding from the face.
Yeah.
Toronto fans and their fucking persecution complex, man.
Just, yeah, every night. But yeah, suspendable hit. Like I told you, my biggest issue was the fact it took so long for the refs to figure out the penalty. And then we talked about it a little bit, but this instigator rule fucking sucks.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the instigator has completely neutered the enforcer role altogether.
Right.
I'm distracted. Jimmy Vesey is actually playing the most average time on ice of his entire career in Vancouver so far.
Yeah.
It's really odd. But yeah, I mean, it's, like, because the dirtiest players tend to be guys who aren't gonna answer the bell. So like the Brad Marchands of the world just have to skate away and be like, nah, you still have to deal with me for the next 5 minutes too. So I don't know. I can actually, like, we talked about this. I'm fine with them giving him the 5 minutes for fighting too. It's stupid, but I think to get away with that situation, you have to keep your gloves on and just turtle. I know it sucks, but once you throw that punch back, they're gonna get you.
And you watched the video and you saw it's like, yeah, he threw the one punch and then he kind of went down and was like, I'm out of this. And
yeah.
Krause is on top. It took two officials to get Krause off of Soucy.
Yeah, Krause got on top of him and just starts hammering him. He was given 27 minutes in penalty minutes, but like
10 of those had to have been afterwards, like after like a dish add-on.
Yeah,
because he got a 2, 5, and a 10. It was kicked out. So.
Yeah,
but no fine. Yeah, there was no fine or suspension. Which whatever you can think about that.
The way he was hammering away at him, that was intent to injure. The way he's hammering at him on top of him, and
yeah,
I feel like even the most like people who don't give a fuck about the safety of players. I'm not just referring to George Peros, but generally speaking, even the people who give the least of a fuck about the safety of players, even they like tend to believe, like, that's a code breaker, just hammering on a guy who's down like that.
The most fighting should still be in hockey of fighting people. Even say like, that should be something. But whatever, man.
And we've seen like Milan Lucic do less to a guy and get fined. Exactly. It was just 2-3 seasons ago. I don't remember who it was, but Lucic just completely gooned someone, but he kept his gloves on and wasn't hammering at him. And he got fined for that.
Yeah. It's, I don't want to say it's dumb, but it is.
It is. And like I said, none of that happens if they just toss Soucy from the game like they should have. It's almost feels like the refs just thought he deserved to get his ass kicked, so left him in the game for just that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand giving a guy a 5-minute major for elbowing someone in the fucking face and leaving them in that game.
Right.
I don't know. And then the other 5-minute major we have this week, the Brandon Tanev hit on Jared Tenorti.
You can talk about that one more.
So basically, Brandon Tanev, it was a penalty. It was a charging, probably boarding. He came from the penalty boxes, striding hard, 5 or 6 strides, and then just absolutely blast Jared Tenorti, who goes into the boards awkwardly and is hurt. I don't know, man. I guess I understand the combination of everything. I think it was a penalty. I don't think it was a clean hit.
It was. I don't think it was remotely a clean hit.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Yeah. I mean, it was by definition an illegal hit. He charged him, and like, my problem with boarding is that Tenorti had just been getting rid of the puck. But that he was getting rid of it. Tanev isn't making a play. He's making a hit to make a hit, and when you do that, it needs to be perfectly clean. So I don't necessarily agree with giving him 5 and tossing him from the game for it. But that's a risk you run when you decide to make hits just to make them. And I don't think guys should stop doing that or anything. You just need to be aware that if it's not squeaky clean, there might be consequences. Penguins killed the penalty. Nothing happened. It wasn't a big deal, except for we lost 2-1, and Tanev did have the only goal of the game before that. So you could argue butterfly effect, like hypothetical theories about how it would have affected the outcome.
I think the Tanev hit is a little more situationally. I think the Tanev hit is worse than the Soucy hit. Just because Soucy had. There is a play to be made on the boards there that Garland had just got the puck. There is a play to keep the puck in the zone for Soucy there in Arizona's end. With the Tanev one, I think what made it worse is the fact that Tanev did get a few, this was beeline, I'm making a run right now.
Yeah.
And so I think that is the one. And like you said, it wasn't squeaky clean. So, did he didn't get suspended? I didn't see any suspension or fine come down for Tanev.
No, like I said, I wouldn't even have been, well, like we said on the phone the other day, the NHL used to do that thing sometimes before the reviews, where after the fact, they would, the day after the game, they would rescind a 5-minute major.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone would be like, oh, that's cool, so we lost on a power play that you just said shouldn't have happened. That's great. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think if not for the reviews, they may have even done that. When you're hitting a guy who is still just getting rid of the puck, though, that's what bothers me about kicking him out. Yes, charging, boarding, but it was clean shoulder to the chest contact on a player who was getting rid of the puck. And that's I just kind of struggle with seeing that get someone ejected.
Yeah, like I said, both situations there's a play to be made, which I think the Tanev situation, what made the Tanev one worse is the charge.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think it's the combination of the two.
Yeah.
And he has since been injured. Upper body injury for Brandon Tanev.
Yeah, sucks. Do you want to get into some injury news? Because we have 3 season-ending injuries to kind of go over.
Let's go ahead.
Well, first one is one that's already been taken care of. He had surgery. Anders Lee out for the season for the Islanders. Had surgery Friday, I want to say.
Yeah, that's rough. That's a team that was real hot for a little bit.
Well, they played Buffalo most early on.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So
I just feel like I trashed them enough that I didn't need to point that out.
Yeah.
But
that sucks. That's their captain. The team that might miss him down the road, they expect him to be ready to go for next season, which, I feel like hockey players, when they do tear their ACL, I always feel like they come back faster than football players.
Yeah.
Which that math never makes sense to me, because for football players, it's a calendar year for them to come back.
I think it's the difference between running at NFL speed and skating.
Right. But then the Islanders are nope, he'll be ready for puck drop next season. It's really? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, and then yesterday the Blues lost Oscar Sundqvist for the season to also a torn ACL.
The kid's had some bad luck.
Yes, he has. What's that? It's his second major injury.
Well, it was also when he was Tom Wilson.
Yes, there's that too.
I think he saw God on that day.
Yes. I think he did. The Blues are a team that are they're in some shit right now, even with Tarasenko back in the lineup. That is a team that is not quite living up to hype.
Yeah, they, yeah. It's almost like
They're,
their goalie isn't as great as they thought he was.
oh, yeah, it's bad. They are currently sitting at they are fourth in the West with 37 points. They're tied with the Wild after the Wild just got blown out of the water for 2 consecutive games by a fully healthy Avalanche team who completely just flexed how good they are when they're healthy. Um, yeah, I thought the Blues would. I didn't think the Blues would be fighting for the fourth spot on this in this division. But here we are, and losing Oscar Sundqvist is not going to help.
No, it is not. Why was I wanting to call Jordan Binnington Chad Binnington for a minute?
I have no idea.
That's a thing.
Yeah. And then the Rangers are going to be losing Jack Johnson for the remainder of the season after he had core muscle surgery today.
Yeah, well, he's already been on waivers once out there.
Yeah.
Other guy with very bad luck.
Yeah.
Not all injury related, but
just 13 games played for Johnson this year. Last played on the 9th of March. 1 goal this year. Really, nothing much, but want to talk about a dude who's got some just shit luck. It's that guy.
So who is that? I spaced out reading something here.
Jack Johnson.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Everywhere from injuries to bankruptcy to being generally bad at hockey. It's hard almost to remember that there was a time where he was really fucking good.
He was really good for a minute.
No, I don't think he ever played. Yeah, drafted by the Rangers, never played a game for them. I honestly kind of forgot that he was a King for a while.
For a hot second, yeah. And then he went to Columbus, right?
Yeah. And he was a pain in my ass when he was in Columbus. So there was that.
Yeah, it sucks, but good. I mean, hopefully he recovers.
He got traded to Columbus earlier in the season when Columbus ended up winning the Cup.
Yep.
His last season there was 2011. He was traded during 2012, and yeah, that's rough.
That is rough.
Oh.
What else is going on right now? Trevor Zegras finally scored his first goal in the NHL. Also happened to be on the same day that Jamie Drysdale scored his first goal for the Ducks in the NHL. Zegras was the 8th player to score from the 2019 draft, and Drysdale was the 3rd to score from the 2020 draft.
Wait, this says he was drafted by the Hurricanes.
Who?
Jack Johnson. Man.
Why are you still on Jack Johnson?
I don't know. I don't understand this. I don't have time to look this up. Sorry. No more Jack Johnson.
You're fine.
Teddy Bluger also injured.
That sucks.
There's quota.
Yep. The Los Angeles Kings today re-signed defenseman Matt Roy to a 3-year, $9.45 million contract. That is an AAV of $3.15 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always solid for a D-man.
Mm-hmm. he's a solid piece on that team. That blue line is I mean, he's 26. He would have been a restricted free agent at the end of the season. Um, he's a McClellan guy. I mean, McClellan loves him. So, I mean, good to lock him up. Averaging 19:30 a night in 25 games played. So, it's on the it's on the second D pair. Just sucks that the Kings are 13, 11, and 6.
I'm not super familiar with him because, I have East Coast bias. But, yeah. Anyone playing 19 minutes a night for that low of a price is a solid extension.
Yeah. Although, fucking Sabres are in COVID protocol.
The whole team?
They had their game yesterday canceled against the Bruins.
Oh, I missed that.
And I missed it. I passingly read it on Twitter yesterday, but yeah, didn't play yesterday against the Bruins, and they will not play on Tuesday against the Islanders. Some players did return to practice today. It was like a 1-day pause. It was weird. So yeah, I don't. It was fucking interesting. But do you know what they are in their last 13 games? What their record is?
No.
0-11-2 in their last 13 games.
Oh, yeah. I did know they haven't won in a very long time. It's a lot of money to be made fading Buffalo right now. They are just terrible.
Evgeny Malkin is being listed as week to week with a lower body injury. What do you know about this one?
Sorry, what was that one? Malkin?
Malkin, week to week with a lower body.
Yeah, it's, yeah, no, he's, I don't know, man. He got hurt against Boston. It's not good, man. He was on fire there for us.
Yeah. It's not good.
One of the many injuries. The Penguins were starting to look real good, and then now we have Tanev, Malkin, Bluger. McCann just came back.
Mm-hmm. Rodriguez is back now too, right?
Yeah, but ideally we don't really have him in the roster.
True.
So, I don't know. We've gotten to the point where we had, with Malkin and Bluger out, that's two of our centers.
And Jason's out.
Yeah, Zucker has been out. Yeah, when you get to the point when you're seeing Freddie Hockey there taking face-offs.
Right. Yeah, Malkin is currently third on the team in scoring with 8 goals, 16 assists for 24 points in 29 games played.
And when you consider the first however many games where he didn't do shit, so probably take 10 off those games played. He was really killing it. I hope he's able to bounce back from that. But per usual, you're starting to see Sidney Crosby score more when Malkin goes out.
Yeah. We talked about this player last week reaching the 50-point mark. Well, he reached the 60-point mark already. Connor McDavid already has 60 points on the season.
He is pretty good at hockey.
Yes, he is fucking really good. Oh, because I found it funny and I like trolling Capitals fans, upon return to the lineup, Tom Wilson he goes, at the end of the day, it can't happen. I can't be missing 7 games. I can't even be missing 1 game. I've got to be in the lineup. I just have to worry about helping the team win by playing good hockey.
Yeah. I agree with that. In the sense that, like, yeah, he should stop missing games for fucking hitting people in the head. I, I would like to see him stop doing that.
We all would, but it's also so funny the fact that Capitals fans don't understand the whole repeat offender thing.
Huh. This one's
What?
been distracting me. One of our episodes is blocked in some countries due to a copyright claim.
Which episode?
Too Smart for the NHL, episode 11.
Oh,
A bunch of our episodes are ineligible for monetization due to a copyright claim. I don't think that's an issue for us.
no.
But yeah, just a fun fact there. We're the
Because
bad
you're
boys.
using music at the beginning of the podcast.
Yep. Don't care. We're not gonna make money anyways. Gonna keep using music. Hopefully, no one lives in the countries where that is being blocked. Actually, one of those countries is probably the U.S. I'll look that up later.
Yeah, we should figure that out, because I do like going back and listening to our podcast.
Yeah. And I don't, but so I never would have noticed that if I wasn't looking at this right now.
Yeah, man, that's it for the news. There's, trading deadlines in 3 weeks. We'll see what happens.
If anything, really.
Yeah, if anything, at all. Yeah, just ho hum. I really don't want to get into breaking down all the standings where they sit right now. Just because Trent's not here.
Yeah.
It's really hard to. I did not realize the Capitals were tied for first in the East Division.
Yep. Yeah,
So
I believe they've actually overtaken it.
My thing is just says they're sitting at 44 points, but I don't know if that's an updated standing.
Wait, I think it's a matter of games played.
They're tied points wise, but they have a game in hand on the Islanders.
Yep.
Yeah.
What a bunch of pieces of shit.
Mainly because I don't want to give you the satisfaction. Okay. I have a decent question for you, discussion-wise.
Something you don't want to give me the satisfaction. I'm so curious what's coming here.
Because I know what you're going to say to this question, but who has suddenly started to fall off the map faster? The currently 15, 11, and 3 Flyers, or the 20 and 10 and 2 Toronto Maple Leafs?
Let's see. Last 10 Flyers 4 and 6. Last 10 for the Maple Leafs also 4 and 6. I think I'd have to say the Flyers just for the fact that they are falling off out of a playoff spot. Whereas the Maple Leafs still have 2 games in hand over the second place team.
But they also had a 10-point lead at one point.
Yeah.
Like, they were running away with that North Division.
Yeah. Yeah, it is tough, but I mean... and then at the same time, one thing I'll give the Flyers is they've had injuries.
They've had a lot of injuries, and they're playing in a much tougher division.
Yeah. Oh, that is tough. I guess I'd have to say the Maple Leafs because they're healthy. And, yeah, they should be destroying that division probably.
Yes, they should.
That said, I'm not sad about either one.
So we kind of hit the midway point for the season for a lot of teams.
Yeah, I think everyone is at 29 now.
Yeah, I think the only team, the Sharks finally hit it. Dallas is still at 28 games played. Quickly, I'm just going to rattle through the top 4 in each division. And I just want to see if you find any surprises other than the really obvious ones.
Okay.
Uh, the Central, you got Tampa in first, Florida in second, Carolina in third, Columbus fourth. Uh, Tampa has a 4 point lead in that division. Um, the Panthers are making it interesting, but I think we kind of know where this is going.
Yeah, and there's a real dramatic drop off after Carolina there.
Yeah.
So that's why
Uh,
I'm kind of surprised by Columbus. But I mean,
mm-hmm.
it's not like they're playing good enough to surprise me. The big surprise for me there is that the Dallas Stars are so bad.
Yeah. 10, 10, and 8. They lose a lot of games in overtime.
They do, yeah. Well, and so do the Blue Jackets. 13, 12, and 7.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I feel like they see a lot more games in the Central going to OT than really any other division.
yeah. Yeah, that's fair, probably. But yeah, well, and that said, too, Dallas does have 4 games in hand and only a 5
Mm-hmm.
point deficit, so that might not even, Dallas could easily get back into fourth
Mm-hmm.
place there. Blackhawks tied with Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'd say just that fourth place spot is a bit of a surprise to me. Just seeing Dallas not be up there and seeing the Blue Jackets squeezing into there.
Yeah. Uh, the East, Washington, we talked about a little bit already. Washington is out front, followed by the Islanders, the Penguins, and Boston.
Yeah, the Islanders surprise me.
Islanders surprised me too.
If one of these
I
days I'm
didn't.
going to stop expecting them to be bad, but I keep just being wrong. But
I mean, they're 8-2 in their last 10 games.
yeah,
They,
well, part of that was coming off of that 9-game win streak.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, they yeah, I don't know. They're a good team. It sucks, but
Yeah, they're a very good team. Honda West, you have Vegas kind of starting to pull away a little bit, followed by Colorado, Minnesota, and then St. Louis.
the surprise here,
Yeah.
it's got to be that Colorado's not just fucking dominant, right?
Well, yeah. For me, the surprise is that the Wild are kind of solidifying themselves as potentially a top 3 team out in that division.
Yeah, yeah. I guess the Wild
Um,
too. I've just we've been talking about them a lot lately,
right.
so I guess they've gotten to the point where I see them as a team that belongs there, and it doesn't
Yeah.
throw me off seeing them there anymore.
Right. For me, the surprise is Colorado. They've been banged up all season. They've had a lot of guys miss time, but this weekend they showed what their expected opening day roster looks like and just how good that roster is.
Yeah,
Uh, it must be really easy to be Jerry Bednar every day when all you have to do every minute and 30 seconds is throw that top line of Landeskog, McKinnon, and fucking Rantanen out there every fucking. It's makes life easy as a head coach when you have that as your first line.
yeah. That's yeah. So they're still only 3-5-2 in their last 10 games. But does it seem to you like the Sharks are kind of starting to score quite a few goals here?
No, because they still have a -20 goal differential.
Yeah. Maybe I just happen to keep noticing on the nights that they do get some goals.
They have been playing. I know they're kind of in a weird run where they're playing St. Louis and Arizona quite a bit, and we know what the goaltending for Arizona and St. Louis has been like this year, especially since Arizona is now down Darcy Kemper for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, well, also earlier, because I was on a different page when I ran my cursor over NHL scores, it was showing a Sharks game from last week when they had won by a
Mm.
lot. So then I
Mm.
was seeing that same score thinking they did it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, never mind. 4-3, 4-2-1, 5. That was against. Yeah. Okay, so maybe not.
Yeah. But uh, everybody's shitting on the Sabres though. But how fucking bad are the Ducks, dude?
Yeah.
Like,
And
I get. If you're the Ducks right now, you're so glad Buffalo's this bad because you're only 3 wins better at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, that's they have one less win even than Detroit.
Right. And it's just
And one less win than the Sent. Yeah, wow. That kind of snuck up on me. I mean, obviously, yeah, like they are terrible, and just poor John Gibson.
John Gibson. That's a trade I'd be interested to theorize what that would look like.
I just want the Penguins to get him.
What I wonder what that takes to get Gibson out of Anaheim.
Tristan Jarry, a first, and I think Tristan Jarry in a first maybe does it though.
I think I mean,
like if you're the Ducks, like you're downgrading a goalie. It's not like Jarry sucks. You're getting a good starting goalie in return and a first round draft pick, and goalies are risky, so it's
what's the harm in getting a Tristan Jarry and a first round pick?
Yeah. And you lose cap space. Then again, the Ducks don't really need cap space.
Exactly.
They don't have anyone that needs to be a major priority that's due for a big payday.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. And even that, I just goalie from Pittsburgh. Of course, I want the Penguins to get him. It's like Toronto fan logic, admittedly.
Yeah. And then we'll wrap it up with the North. Toronto and, like we talked about earlier, Toronto and Edmonton technically tied at the top. But Toronto 1, Edmonton 2, Winnipeg 3rd with 38 points, then Montreal 4th with 37. I'll be the first to admit it. I did not realize Winnipeg had turned it on lately to become 3rd in that division. I know Montreal in their last 10 have not been great, but walked out for Vancouver because they're 7-2-1 in their last 10.
And Thatcher Demko has been unreal.
Unreal.
Yeah. Vancouver also has quite a few more games played than everyone. I think they're kind of falling to where I don't know that the playoffs are super well, if the Canadians keep dropping games and they keep picking it up, which is very possible. Starting to see the Flames come to life a little bit since firing their coach. Actually,
the goal differentials in that division are crazy.
Yeah.
Plus 24, plus 19, plus 9. That's not going to last for Winnipeg, by the way. If they want to make the playoffs, they got to get that number higher. Plus
Can they, though? I mean,
Montreal.
that's...
Go ahead.
I mean, their defense is so bad. I think if they can be positive, they should just be happy about it.
True. Also helps when you can just start Connor Hellebuck every night.
Yeah. Yeah, that's... The Jets basically, it's a great top 6. Some okay depth in the bottom 6, terrible defense, and probably the best goalie in the league.
Yeah, exactly. And potentially
but teams have made runs with less.
Yeah, well, maybe one of the most toxic locker rooms in the NHL too.
Yeah, called it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They, I mean, to me, the surprise here is the teams out of the playoffs: the Canucks, Flames, and the Senators, who I infamously predicted to be pretty decent this year. The Canadians are getting back to kind of being what we expected.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know though. The Maple Leafs and Oilers being good was really the only sure thing about this division.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't really say anything in this division surprises me too much, except for I think the big one is the Flames being so bad.
Yeah, I think the other big surprise is just how bad the goaltending is in that division.
Yeah,
Because we knew, again, it's a topic that bears repeating because it's shocking how bad it is.
wouldn't it be wild though if like when they fight like whoever gets through this division into the conference finals just starts fucking scoring at will on the American teams. We come to find out that just all the Canadian teams have nasty offenses. I don't see it happening, but it would be a thing.
And it will be interesting to see one of these American division teams having to go play Edmonton, with just how lights out that offense is right now.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. I would not want to go up against Toronto's offense or Edmonton's offense right now.
Yeah.
Those are two scary offenses. We can get into. We'll save this for next week, but I think we should kind of look at mid-season awards next week too.
Yeah.
Do a little bit of research just in case it's another slow week again.
Yeah, that's fair.
So we'll save that. We want to just get into overrated, underrated.
Let's do it.
All right, you are the topic master, so let's hit it.
All right, let's start out with favorite candy bar. It's the whatchamacallit.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I love them. Man, I'm glad they stopped putting them in the vending machine at work. I was eating too fucking many of them. Now I'm eating these stupid, shitty bear claws that I'm weaning myself off of. But
the like dollar honey buns or whatever.
Yeah, they're like that. Yeah, they're cream cheese and strawberry bear claws. I just can't stop eating. They're nice and moist.
Mm-hmm.
I need to stop. Before that, I went through a big iced honey bun kick. But yeah, candy bars, a whatchamacallit. I just love them.
They kick ass. I'm saying this because it's my favorite candy hands down. You can tell me it's not a candy bar, but it's Reese Cup.
That is actually this article I'm looking at. That is the number 2 selling candy bar in the world.
Reese Cup. You put those little orange bastards in front of me, they're gonna get
those little orange bastards. Yeah, man. How do you eat your Reese's?
Like an animal. Like, I don't know. I just went, gone.
Are you too young to remember those commercials?
I am.
Okay, there was a series of commercials when I was a kid of people eating Reese's different ways. Like, there was a race car driver who like put a hole in them, so they were like little wheels.
Oh, I remember seeing that commercial on, like, you remember how BuzzFeed would do like, can we guess your age by if you remember any of these things? And I saw those commercials. I've seen the commercial a million times. But that was like a late '90s commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm a mid '90s baby, so.
They also, man, the chocolate to peanut butter ratio in a Reese's is perfect, and the kind of peanut butter they use. Like, I want that peanut butter to spread on a sandwich.
Have you had the big cups yet that just came out?
Yeah, I love the ones with the cookie bits.
I've had that one. That one's good. The really good one now, it's the pretzel one.
I haven't had that yet. I've had the cookie bites, the ones with Reese's Pieces in them.
Yeah. That's really good.
Because that's
But yeah,
that's like a Reese's inside your Reese's. It's so
yeah,
many little orange bastards.
so many. Dude, when during Halloween season, when you just find the individual wrapped ones,
Yeah.
oh, I can't stop myself.
What are your
The,
thoughts
even
on
the
Reese's
even
Pieces?
the, I've never been like, for lack of a better way of describing it, the like little versions of things, whether it's Skittles or Reese's Pieces, um, like the hard candied M and M's,
Yeah.
unless they're the crisp M and M's that have like the puffed rice in them. Those are
Yeah.
like the only ones I'll eat. But otherwise, those like coated anything of that like
You're not
coated
a big fan
franchise.
of candy that looks like pills.
Yeah, exactly.
What were you saying about the little trick or treat Reese's?
But yeah, like the little trick or treat Reese's, I will crush 30 of them without
Oh yeah,
blinking.
one bite.
Yeah.
There,
I'm not even talking about the little cup ones. I'm talking about like the individually wrapped Reese
oh
cups.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
those are a problem for me.
Yeah.
And then,
Those are
man, when the holidays come around, the Christmas tree
ooh.
ones, the Easter egg ones,
Okay, here's a question. What is the best
you just rubbed your
Reese's
hands
shape?
together so violently.
What is the best Reese's shape? Because this is a hot debate among my friend group.
I think it's the Easter egg. The one thing
I
I'll say though is I feel like the chocolate to peanut butter ratio goes a little bit heavier peanut butter, but I
mhm.
love that peanut butter. I don't mind.
I consist that it is either the pumpkin or the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Because the Christmas tree is longer, so you're getting more.
What I like about the Christmas tree too is that because of its shape, it kind of like it has a little guideline for where to take your bites. Because I apparently
Exactly.
am an idiot that needs a guideline on how to eat a piece of fucking candy.
Agreed. Um, yeah. So before this becomes a Reese's sponsored podcast, where we spend too much, or we spend more time talking about Reese cups than we talk about the actual hockey. Do you want to get into least favorite?
Yeah, but real quick, I just want to say regarding Reese's, if you call them Reese's Pieces, I hate you.
Kill you. Uh, guess guess who just waved on an audio podcast? Did you not hear how I call them Reese cups? I don't say the S. They're Reese cups.
They're it's
They're,
Reese's.
they're Reese cups.
Reese owns them.
They're Reese cups.
It's just the Reese's Pieces drives me crazy.
Yeah. No, I don't say them.
Especially because like
I don't
just
say
Reese's Pieces still rhymes. There's no reason to be bringing long E sounds into the. Okay, least favorite candy
okay.
bar, Mounds. I fucking hate coconut. And
Almond Joy. I
yeah,
fucking hate
Almond Joy at
coconut.
least adds something that I do like with almonds. So that's
Yeah, I
why I
fucking
was torn between the two. But I was like, Almond Joy at least has almonds, and I like almonds. Dude, coconut is fucking disgusting.
the worst. The worst.
Uh, and just how many times as a kid with a box of chocolates, and like, my mom would tell me I could have one, and you end up drawing a piece with coconut on it. Just nothing worse.
Nothing worse. When I was in middle school, we were trick or treat. The last year, you're like kind of like old enough to actually trick or treat, but all you're really doing is just fucking around with your friends. Like that age. It's
Yeah.
like you probably shouldn't be out, but like it's the last time you're going to, do something. There was one house on my friend's street, and it was this old lady, and her entire bucket. She didn't like meet you at the door. She just had a like have a happy Halloween, take two pieces, and the entire giant like popcorn bowl was Mounds and Almond Joys.
Oh.
So we picked up handfuls of them, and we just threw them back at her house.
Got her ass. I want to say that's terrible, but honestly, who does? Like, what a psychopath.
All right. Overrated.
You know what, man? Now I'm looking at like a bunch of candy bars here, and for one thing, I'm getting very hungry, and for another thing, I'm realizing that it's going to be very hard for me to come up with my underrated. First,
Oh, I have my underrated.
so first the overrated. I think I got to go Three Musketeers. I like a Three Musketeers,
I
but
like the bite-sized Three Musketeers.
yeah, but like a whole thing of just nougat coated in chocolate.
I don't
Like
mind it.
like Snickers, like put some caramel and some peanuts in there.
Mhm.
I just don't. That's it's like it's half of a candy bar ingredients wise.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I guess I could also go with Almond Joy, just because it is a top selling candy bar and it's an absolute piece of shit. So I'm gonna go with that. More coconut hate. Almond Joy.
I also have a tie for my two overrated. Um, if I had to uh, pick one, it is
Ooh,
or
I like a
salted payday and or salted nut rolls. We'll both
I
tie
love
those
them.
together. I no thank you.
Wow.
And also special shout out to fucking Heath bars. Fuck those things.
I don't hate Heath bars, but yeah, they're not great.
No,
Toffee coated in chocolate, it's not ideal.
no.
Um,
Um, my big knock against payday and Pearson salted nut rolls is too salty. I want just a little more sweet in there.
See, I actually think those are perfect, and that's especially like that's a candy bar I don't mind having at work because it's got a little bit to it for like filling, like just
Mm-hmm.
all the nuts. Um, and yeah, I know what I said. And to make matters worse, all the white stuff holding those nuts together, especially on a salted nut roll, that stuff is fucking gold. We are too immature to talk about salted nut rolls. But
I just
I
had to cough.
disagree, but I guess I can understand what you're saying about the salty to sweet ratio.
Yeah,
Um
I don't know. I have a bit of a sweet tooth, so I usually I like salty sweet, like the salty sweet flavor combination. I'm all about, but like I don't know. I want a candy bar because I want a little bit of sweet. I don't want fucking sodium overload in my candy bar.
yeah.
All right, underrated. Mine is super easy for me, anyways. This would probably actually be my favorite.
Um so I have some honorable mentions for this one.
Hmm.
Basically all of the Reese's candy bars, the Take 5, the Fast Break, I mean they're all the same, just combinations of chocolate, peanut butter, and nuts or whatever, just done differently. Even
Mr.
Reese's
Goodbar can go.
sticks.
Mr. Goodbar can go fuck itself.
I like Mr. Goodbar, but I was thinking more so the ones that are like the orange package and are basically Reese's cups in the shape of a candy bar.
Oh yeah,
Again,
for sure.
specifically the Fast Break. I love it.
Oh, fast break
Um,
rule.
I also I gotta give a shout out to a Crunch Bar. Just
Ooh,
simple
I
gold.
I I like as a kid who grew up at the movie theater. Like that was what we did. I liked the box, the Crunch Pop. Do you remember those at all? The Bunch of Crunch.
Oh
That's what they were
yeah,
called.
I love Bunch of
Yeah.
Crunches. Do you
You,
remember
you,
Butterfinger BBs?
yeah.
I miss the Simpsons doing the commercials for Butterfinger. That was a
Yeah.
golden era of advertising. But
Um,
go ahead.
no, I agree with you. Crunch bars, extremely underrated. Super simple too, and
Yeah,
I like that. I like that the little puff rice, little crispy stuff.
but my underrated candy bar is the cookies and cream Hershey's bar. So good.
So good.
It
My one downside on that is it's so much. It's like chalk. So anytime you bite in or break pieces off, it like doesn't like it just it's all over you.
I don't seem to have that issue. Also, Miranda likes to throw candy bars in the freezer. So usually by the time I get to
Mm,
one, it's pretty solid. And then just also, I mean, the white chocolate. And I'm weird with eating snacks. Um, like I took like the eat your Reese's thing. I've actually tried some of them, and I still sometimes like punch the hole out in the middle, and then, especially because the outside is a little bit more chocolate heavy. I sometimes
mhm.
with a cookies and cream bar will basically like let it sit in my mouth until all the chocolate is melted, and then eat all the little cookie bits separately afterwards.
Oh, what is wrong with you?
I'm a weird eater, Colt. Um, but yeah, I don't know, man. I it was also one of those things where a lot of times my mom would grab one at the grocery store, and like me, her, and my sister would split it on the way home because
Mm,
they come in rows of 3 tiles to break off. But yeah, man, I love a cookies and cream bar. They're so fucking good, and I think
they
just because of being white chocolate, I think a lot of people sleep on them. A lot of people are weird about white chocolate. I know it's not technically chocolate. I don't care.
don't care either. Um,
What's your underrated?
Butterfinger crisp bars,
Ooh, those are good.
and they're super hard to find. They're like exclusively at gas stations or Costco, and they're not at every gas station.
Yeah.
Here I can here I can only find them at holidays here in the Twin Cities. Um, I will sometimes specifically pick if I'm around an appropriate time to get a candy bar. I will pick which gas station I have to go to based off if it's a holiday where I can get my Butterfinger crisp bar.
So this is like a serious issue for you.
Dude, I love these things. Nobody knows about them. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess because I've never noticed that they're hard to find before, but now that I think about it, I do like them, and that's probably why I don't have them very often.
Um, yeah, they're literally like I can only ever find them at gas stations or Costco. But I do know this. Don't ask me why I know it, but Amazon sells an 18 pack of them for $50
Have you ordered this?
a couple
That's
times.
pretty expensive.
Well, it's like the full. It's like so they're not king size, but they're the full big like three because they come in three pieces, like
Yeah.
that are like an inch and a half,
The share
and each.
size.
Yeah, exactly. They're the share size,
That's what
and
they think.
yeah, um, yeah. I they cost $50 a piece for an 18 pack on Amazon, and they fucking rule. And these are probably my favorite. Like these are my favorite, but I feel like they are so slept on that I had no choice but to put them as a truly underrated uh, candy bar.
All right, so I got a couple quick fire ones for you.
Okay,
Um, Rolo or Caramello?
Rolo. Again, movie theater kid. Rolos were super easy to like just smash at a movie theater.
Twix or Snickers?
Twix all day.
Godiva or Dove?
Ghirardelli. They're all three the same thing.
Yeah, just a rich guy chocolate.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
Oh, also, do you know anyone that calls 100 grands $100,000 bars?
My grandparents.
My mom does it sometimes, and it really pisses me off.
Okay, hold on. I'm looking something up real quick. Um. Okay, here we go. This is what I want. All right. Um. That's not what I want. I'm trying to. Okay, here we go. Found him. Necco wafers. Yay or nay?
Um, off the top of my head, I'm having a hard time. Like, I know what they look like and all. I'm having a hard time remembering exactly what they taste like.
Terrible. They taste like chalk.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I don't like Necco wafers.
Okay. Uh, sugar daddies.
Sugar daddies are just shitty milk duds.
Correct. Charleston Chew.
Never had one.
They're pretty fucking good. They're old people candy, but when you freeze them sons of bitches, ooh,
I do know that if
good.
someone's loco enough, they can choke you out with one.
Um, let's see here. Have you ever had a zero bar?
Is that the white chocolate? Yes, I have had one of those. They're fine.
Oh, I hate those things. I'm going through a list of the most hated candy right now, by the way.
Okay.
Mallow Cup.
Fake marshmallow like that kind of weirds me out.
Mm-hmm.
I really only like marshmallows for like s'mores, but chocolate coated marshmallow doesn't really do it for me that much.
No. Chunky bars.
What is a chunky bar? Looking it up. Is it just peanuts in chocolate?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, here we go. Nestle Chunky. Yeah, that looks fine. I don't really. It's weird to me that that's on like a most hated candy list.
Because they always taste stale.
Oh, well then, yeah, that would explain it.
Cow tails.
I love cowtails, especially the chocolate ones.
I can't tell you the last time I had a cow tail. I do remember liking them quite a bit.
Oh, and another thing I don't mind with marshmallow is cow pies. Also sold as moon pies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just the shitty, like, it's basically like 2 stale graham crackers with a marshmallow in between them, coated in chocolate, sometimes coated in yellow.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
What else here? There's something else I'm looking for that I know are fucking terrible. Slow poke bars.
I don't even know what that is.
Imagine a somehow worse sugar daddy.
Oh. Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, they are. See, there's so many I want to ask you about, but we're trying to keep this to strictly candy bars.
Yeah, I'm thinking of a few like that I like. Like I love a Nerd's Rope.
I'm a gummy, so like
I love gummies.
Haribo, Swedish Fish. My all-time favorite candy is the Sour Patch watermelon. Not even close.
Yeah.
But we could save that for another episode.
Yeah. Yeah, my mom actually went for work. She was in Stockholm, and she went to the place that makes Swedish Fish. Oh man, when she used to visit Sweden, she'd come back with so much good shit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a bag of just different candies. I love gummies, and I love novelty overly large gummies. The feeling when your teeth just bite through a big thick gummy.
I can't do that.
Really?
It's so gross. So
you'll never get like the 1.5 foot, 2 foot long snake.
So I grew up in my town. There's like this iconic candy store. At least for Minnesota, there's like this iconic candy store in downtown Stillwater called Tremblay's, and they were like every candy you could possibly imagine. But they also sold the like giant gummy, like the 2-pound gummy bear, or the like 6-foot rope or snake or whatever.
I love it.
I got one, and and I ate half of it in like one day. I was so sick.
I
But
did recently sit down and for a special occasion sit down and eat the entire gummy snake.
Oh.
And then there was, for Christmas, I got Miranda that giant gummy unicorn. It was like the size of my head and like an inch thick. I ate it in pieces, but like I said, I just love the feeling of just teeth digging into that big mushy bite that like gives, but you know, like has to rip.
Yeah, no thank you.
I love it, man. Except for that unicorn was weird because it wasn't really any flavor. It was like the flavor I'd best describe as just fruity. Not a particular fruit, just fruity.
Just fruity. Yeah, no thank you.
Yeah. Well, we should probably wrap this up. Talked about candy for a solid 25 minutes.
Yeah. Oh well, we can deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm about it. It's an important topic in my life. I eat a lot of candy. I love candy. I am basically a child.
Yeah. Yeah, same. Well, Trent's not here to approve this message, but I'm sure he would. So, we'll see you later.
Oh, yeah. Check out our sponsors, Slapstick Clothing on Facebook, on Instagram at slapstick.clothing, and at slapstickclothing.com. Peace, fuckers.
Bingo, baby.